In this lesson, we'll be practicing with area and volume, meeting the requirements for TEKS 6.8d. The formula for the volume of a right rectangular prism, which includes cubes, is length times width times height, or L times W times H, which is otherwise written as volume equals big B times H, where big B is equal to length times width. The square shown represents the base of a cube. Use a ruler to measure the dimensions of the square to the nearest half centimeter. Which measurement is closest to the volume of the cube in cubic inches? So when you measure the dimensions of this square, you should find that the nearest half centimeter is going to be 2.5 centimeters. To find big B, we need to multiply the length times the width. So big B would be equal to 2.5, the length, times 2.5, the width. Since it's a square, all four sides are the same length. 2.5 times 2.5, when I multiply decimals, I count the number of digits to the right of the decimal, and I add those to know how many digits need to be to the right of the decimal in my product. When I finish multiplying, I should see that my product is 625. But I need to put 2 digits after the decimal. So my decimal needs to go here, between the 6 and the 2. So big B equals 6.25. Now, the volume is big B times H. What was the height of this cube? Well, the height, since it's a cube, is the same 2.5. 2.5 times 6.25 will give me the volume of the cube. 6.25 times the height of 2.5, 2 digits to the right of the decimal, 1 digit to the right of the decimal. I'm going to need 3 digits to the right of the decimal in my product. And I find my product is 15625. And when I place my decimal so that 3 digits are to the right, I get 15.625 centimeters, and it's a cubic measurement. 15.625 cubic centimeters, which is answer choice A. Maggie cut a parallelogram from cloth. A drawing of the parallelogram is shown. Use a ruler to measure the dimensions of the parallelogram to the nearest half inch. Which measurement is closest to the area of the cloth parallelogram in square inches? So first, we need to remember that the area of a parallelogram is the base times the height. When we measure the base, we find the nearest half inch is 1.5. And when we measure the height, we find that the nearest half inch is 1.5 as well. In fact, I found that when I measured the height, it was a little bit more than 1 1/4, almost 1 3/8, which would put it closer to 1.5 than to 1. So if the base is 1.5 and the height is 1.5, then multiplying the base times the height, 1.5 times 1.5, would give me the area. I can now change these to decimals, 1.5 times 1.5, and multiply that way. One digit to the right here, one digit to the right here, which means 2 here. So 2.25. 2.25. 0.25 is 25 hundredths. And if I simplify that, I get the fraction 1/4. So 2 and 1/4 square inches, which would give me C. Now, if I did it by multiplying the fractions and I simply change the mixed numbers into improper fractions, 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3, times 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3. I multiply straight across to 9 over 4. 4 goes into 9 twice with a remainder of 1. My solution is still 2 and 1/4 square inches. The base of a rectangular prism has an area of 2.5 square feet. So the base of the rectangular prism has an area, so the area of the base is called big B. So big B is equal to 2.5 square feet. The height of this prism is equal to 5 3/4 feet. What is the volume? Well, if we remember that the volume is big B times H. So the volume is 2.5 times 5 3/4. Once again, I have options. I can change 2.5 to 2.5 and 5 3/4 to 5.75. 3/4 or 3/4 would be 0.75. I can multiply these decimals, 1 digit to the right here, 2 here, which means I'm going to need 3 in my product. 5 times 5 is 25. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2, 10, plus the 2. So I have 5, 7, 13, 4, 1. And I need to place my decimal so that 3 digits are to the right. 14.375. Now, I might remember that 0.375 is the same as 3/8. But if I didn't, I could always write the decimal 375 over its place value, which is thousandths, 375 thousandths. This is the tenths, the hundredths, the thousandths. And I could simplify. I could do it by 5 over and over and over again until I'm finished, or I might recognize I could simplify this by 125, which would give me 3/8. 14 3/8. And is that an answer choice? It sure is. 14 3/8 cubic feet. Janet and Tabitha each solved the following problem. Mr. Chang traced the base of a rectangular prism below. The height of the rectangular prism was 16.5 centimeters. Use a ruler to measure the dimensions of the rectangle to the nearest centimeter. What is the volume of the rectangular prism? Well, there's a few things here. We know the height is 16.5 centimeters. Great. We know we need to measure the length and the width of the base to the nearest centimeter. We also know to find the volume, I need the area of the base multiplied times the height. So, when I measure the length of the base of this rectangular prism, I get a measure of the nearest centimeter being 5. And when I measure the width, I get a measure of the nearest centimeter of 3. Now let's go ahead and check Janet's work. First, I noticed that Janet's measurements, she's using little b and h. For length and width, she's using base and height. That's fine, but she's got measures of 6 and 4. The base, or little b, of this rectangle, when I double check my measures, I find that it is in fact 5. And the width, or if I want to use her term of height, of the base of this rectangular prism, once again I find the nearest centimeter is 3. Janet's first mistake is her measures. Her measures are not correct. Then we take a look at the next step. We need big B, which is her little b times h, or L times W. She does that correctly. She multiplies her little b and h in order to get big B of 24. So her work is correct, even though her measures are wrong. However, she then uses a volume formula where she should be multiplying her big B of 24 times the height of 16.5, and in fact she's not multiplying it, she's adding. Her second mistake is she added h when she should have multiplied. Now let's take a look at Tabitha's work. Once again, Tabitha also has incorrect measures. She's measured 6 and 4, where we know by checking twice already, the measures should be 5 and 3. So her first mistake is her measures. How important is it to have correct measurements? It's critical. Neither student would get to the correct answers with incorrect measures. So measuring twice is a good idea to be absolutely certain you've got your measurements correct. When we look at Tabitha's next step, she should be multiplying her measures to find big B, but she's confused. She thinks multiplying those two measures is going to give her the volume. And so her second mistake is she's using the wrong or incorrect formula. Volume is not little b times h. Volume is big B times h. And big B is the area of the base, which is L times W. Now, down the bottom it says, what is the corrected solution process and correct solution? Well, we know the measures should have been 5 and 3. So we know that big B was the length of 5 times the width of 3. So big B was 15. And we know the height was 16.5. And since volume is big B, 15, multiplied by height, 16.5, we know that if we simply multiply 16.5 times 15, we'll find the volume. I have one digit after the decimal here, none here, so I'm going to need 1 in my product. And when I multiply, I get a solution of 2475. One digit to the right of my decimal. So my correct volume measurement is 247.5. Don't forget your units of measure. Cubic centimeters. 247.5 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters.